Some CARICOM support for the embattled Nicolas Maduro administration. And in sport, a cricket legend floored by Windies' absence from the Champions Trophy. I'm Ricardo Roberts, and this is Caribbean in 10 for Friday, May 19th. I'll be back with the details after the break.
Grow your business or promote your event through the services offered by the Caribbean Media Corporation and CaribVision. Our distribution provides a platform on cable, terrestrial television, and websites. We cover carnivals and events from across the region. We can bring your event live and alive to the world. For music makers, program producers, businesses, we can expand your reach to in excess of 2 million households daily. Our other services include news updates to enhance your media products, studio space for program and development. We can facilitate the launch of new products and services and training. Contact us and we will help you unleash your creative ability, develop products and services, and provide the medium to watch them grow. Contact Loretta Skeet at cmccaribbean.com or call her 1-246-467-1044 or 1-246-253-3889. Call and book your carnival or event today.
Outgoing chairman of CARICOM's Council for Foreign and Community Relations, COFCO, Sir Louis Straker, is confident the regional group will stand behind the embattled Nicolas Maduro government in Venezuela. This is despite some countries breaking ranks on the issue. Speaking with reporters yesterday on the sidelines of COFCO's 20th meeting in Barbados, the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Foreign Affairs Minister and Deputy Prime Minister said CARICOM would not abandon Venezuela in its time of need. He assured that the majority of countries in CARICOM support Venezuela, which is currently under pressure from the Organization of American States, the OAS. Sir Louis repeated allegations made by his country's Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, that people with ulterior motives are trying to get regime change in Venezuela and are stirring up strife. Now, Gonsalves has blasted moves by what he called a small group of powerful nations within the OAS, making attempts to divide CARICOM states in a bid to overthrow Nicolas Maduro. Opposition forces in Venezuela have been demanding early elections, freedom for jailed activists, foreign aid to offset the economic crisis, and autonomy for the opposition-controlled legislature. And the country has been gripped by violent protests that have resulted in dozens of deaths. Al Jazeera has aired a documentary identifying Trinidad and Tobago as the nation with the highest recruitment rates of ISIS fighters in the Western Hemisphere. But government has lashed back, saying the documentary is highly inaccurate and an insult to the people of the Twin Island Republic. CNC3's Uvashi Tawari Rupnarayan has that story.
In a half-hour documentary entitled Caribbean to Caliphate and Aid Worldwide, journalist Juliana Rufus tries to establish TNT's links with the Islamic State.
According to government estimates, 130 Trinidadians, including women and children, have since joined Crawford and Mustafa in the Middle East. This makes Trinidad the highest per capita contributor to ISIL in the Western Hemisphere, and some experts think up to 400 people may have gone.
But Attorney General Faris Al-Rawi is disputing these figures, on which the reporter bases the highest per capita recruitment. He says travel to the Middle East does not imply ISIS links.
I think that that's a pure fabrication on her part. I mean, if she had the kind of evidence that she's speaking about, surely she would have named who the government person who said that was. And I can tell you that there is almost a 2-hour interview recorded between that reporter and me, and you will note that not even a scintilla of it came forward.
And the AG is not at all impressed and thinks the government's perspective on terrorism via his 2-hour-long interview with this journalist was intentionally omitted.
It's clear that the reporter came armed with a story already written and just simply backfilled with imagery, alleging things which are so far off from having certain facts stand behind the allegations made by the reporter.
Guyana has recorded more than 200 cases of child sexual abuse so far this year, and child care protection officials are appealing for public support to tackle the problem. More in this report from Ayana George of HGP Nightly News.
It's indeed a problem, a big one too. This scourge called child sexual abuse.
From January to April, we have had 278 sexual abuse reports.
Child Care and Protection Agency Director Anne Green. She says the reports represent just the tip of the iceberg, emphasizing that child sexual abuse is a hidden crime with many cold cases.
A lot of the reports are not coming through. The actual acts, people are still not reporting. And it's not easy for a child to tell of sexual abuse, particularly from somebody that they know. And most of the cases of sexual abuse are from persons that the children know.
It all boils down to Child Care Department calling for additional support from the public on child protection.
Stay with us, your Midday Sport is next.
Tell us why you're here in Washington at the office, the lobby of the Inter-American Development Bank. And then we'll talk a little bit about where you came from.
Well, I come from Kingston, Jamaica, originally. I guess the art came mainly from my father. My father was a well-known landscape painter, Jerry Dunlop. He painted in oils. My mother also is an incredibly creative person.
A popular supposed quote of Albert Einstein having once said, "I fear the day that technology will surpass our human interaction. The world will have a generation of idiots." It makes the rounds on the internet just about every day. And whether Einstein actually said it or not is not nearly as important as the simple truth of the statement itself. Today, almost everyone is in possession of a handheld device that has more computing ability than it took to land men on the moon.
Legendary Indian all-rounder Kapil Dev says authorities should reconsider the rules of qualification for the ICC Champions Trophy. The former Indian captain and world record-breaking fast bowler was astonished that the Windies will not be part of the tournament, which takes place from June 1 to 18 in England and Wales. For the 8th edition of the tournament, the top 8 teams in the ICC ODI rankings on September 30, 2015 qualified for the tournament. The Caribbean side finished outside the top 8 in 9th position, missing out on the tournament for the first time. Dev said, quote, "It's very hard to believe that West Indies will not be at the tournament. I will always follow West Indies cricket very closely because that was the best team in our time." Now, if the West Indies team has declined in 20 or 30 years, we can say that the other teams have come up. It's sad to see the West Indies decline from where it was. There is no shortage of talent, though. The West Indies winning the T20 World Cup last year in Kolkata was fantastic. Dev continued by saying that when someone makes a rule, they don't think or things like whether this or that team will qualify. I, as a cricketer, lover of the game, think that the West Indies should be there all the time. But again, I don't write the rules. End quote. Trinidad and Tobago Pro League outfit Central FC failed yesterday to reach the final in their bid for a third consecutive Caribbean Football Union Club Championship title. Now, fellow TT Pro League side Shawan Jablote and Siabo FC, the Dominican Republic, will contest the final on Sunday at the Hasty Crawford Stadium, with the winner booking a place in the 2018 CONCACAF Champions League. That's Caribbean in 10. Join us again at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. Good afternoon.